Hey, what's up everybody? Hammerheart Metal Reviews here once again. Today we're doing a brand new album review for you, and we are going to be talking about the band Ecclesia with their new album, Ecclesia Militans. This album name translates to Church Militants. This band is from France, and they play epic doom, epic heavy metal, kind of a blend of those two genres. It's a very unique approach to their songwriting. This is kind of a concept all about like Catholicism and witch hunts and Inquisition and just banishing heretics. So it's got a very unique vibe to it with like some church organs and keys. Like lyrically, something about these topics might normally dissuade me from even checking out an album. Like overly religious albums aren't necessarily something that I'm going to seek out, but when the music is this good, it doesn't really matter what the lyrical content is in my books. This band would be for fans of bands like Candlemass, maybe a more current example would be Crypt Sermon, and definitely a major Black Sabbath vibe, especially like the Tony Martin era. Like I get major Headless Cross or Tear vibes from this album. Yeah, this kind of comes across like a church sermon, but in an epic doom style. It's just really catchy and melodic doom riffing mixed with like some traditional heavy metal tendencies, a little bit of just a melodic heavy metal flair in spots, and the unique atmosphere with these church organs really gives it something to make it stand out. This album as a whole is 10 tracks. It's about 43 minutes long. So I'm going to do kind of a track-by-track run-through and take you through the album, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it as a whole and score it out of 10 at the end. So the album kicks off with the intro track, Vade Retro. This is just an intro song, kind of just sets the mood, atmosphere for a religious tale. Not really much to say about this other than it just leads into the album. I mean, it serves its purpose, but doesn't necessarily add a whole bunch to the album as a whole. But nonetheless, then it gets into the first like real song, If She Floats. This is a definite standout of the album. This just instantly hooks you with a great opening riff. The background like church organs and keys really dial up the mood and atmosphere here. The vocal delivery is very strong and just soaring. It's perfect for this style of epic doom. And this just has a catchy ass chorus. Like I said, this is definitely an album highlight. One of my favorite tracks on the album for sure. So it kicks it off in outstanding fashion. After that, the next track, it comes Spiritu Tuo. I'm assuming that's Latin. I don't know what it means, but this sounds like a church mass, just like spewing crushing doom riffs at the same time, if that makes any sense. But it's just really riffs that will make you headbang, but with this church organ backing, and the vocals just really make you want to sing along. Like it's a very unique combination. It includes a really nice solo in the song as well. Musicianship here is really on point, really getting a taste for what the band's all about just a couple songs into the album. After that is the song Anticlesia. This is a longer track. This is an epic doom track for sure. Major like Headless Cross era Sabbath vibe on this track, bringing in some Candlemass influence as well. That church organ once again just really adds something, and the powerful vocals over the slow crushing doom riffing just really make it stand out. Another great track. After that, kind of the halfway point of the album, is the title track, Ecclesia Militans. Another one of probably my favorite tracks on the album. Here the pace picks up a little bit. I wouldn't even necessarily call this a straight ahead doom song. This is where they kind of bring in some of those traditional heavy metal influences. It really just picks up the tempo, and it's just a nice slab of classic heavy metal. It's a really another like well-constructed song with a very catchy chorus. The vocals really shine once again. Great riffing, great solos. Maybe I'm sounding like a broken record here, but all these songs so far are really great. None of them have missed the mark, and this one's no exception. After that, the back half of the album kicks off with The Exorcism. This song kind of features the keys and church organ at the forefront of the song. There are some like heavy groovy riffs underneath, which is kind of another shift in gear compared to the songs that came before, but I like that it keeps changing pace. It's not just a slow tempoed doom song after one another. Like they're kind of switching it up from song to song with different approaches, and they really like give the opportunity for different influences to shine through in the music. I really like the flow of the album, and yeah, this is a great way to kick off the back half of the album. After that, the next song, Ereptor Vere Fide, another one I'm probably mispronouncing, another Latin title. This got really headbanging riffage once again, just the riffs take control of this song. Really nice guitar work throughout. This does feature a little bit of harsh vocals as opposed to the clean vocals that have been on the entire record, but there's still the clean vocals as well. The harsh ones are relatively well done, but I do prefer the clean vocals for this style of song, but nonetheless, a great track all in all. After that, Red in the Iron. This one picks up the pace once again. It really almost has like a bluesy hard rock feel to the riffs, but it's still mixed in with some doominess. The vocals once again just really shine through. Another great track. Then it goes into the epic closing song, Harvester of Sinful Souls. This is the longest track on the album, probably the most like doom-oriented song. It's slow and brooding at the beginning, but it's still like uplifting in the spirit of like a doomy congregation or sermon just being spewed out. And then the pace does pick up in the tail end of the song and just a fitting close to the album. There is an outro after that, Kiss et Dieu, but it's just an outro that kind of ties the album together. Doesn't necessarily add much, kind of like the intro as well. Not necessarily adding anything to the album, but I get it. I understand why they put it there just for the concept as a whole, but I mean, you're not really going to go listen to this intro and outro on their own. That would serve no purpose, but in the scope of an album, it's a fitting way to end it. So that's the album in a nutshell. My thoughts on this as a whole: the production here is very crisp and clear. All the instruments sound great. The vocals really shine. This is just like everything that I want in an epic doom album, even though maybe this kind of religious concept could be considered a little like gimmicky. It doesn't really hold it back. When the when the songs are this strong, it doesn't make me hesitate to listen to this, even though maybe in general I gear towards something that's a little more evil, not something that's overtly religious, but nonetheless, it doesn't detract here. It's kind of their shtick. Maybe it could come across as cheesy, but it doesn't really. They don't overdo it here. It's just the style of album that they've got and the lyrical content that they want to go for. And I applaud them for putting out an amazing doom album. I really like the pacing of this album. It's not just, like I said earlier, it's not just straight ahead doom the whole time. It brings in those heavy metal elements and just flares of different influences here and there. It's a nice blend of traditional heavy metal with the epic doom. So all in all, I think this is a very solid album. A lot to like if you're into the style at all. This is probably one of the better epic doom albums that I've heard in quite some time. So to score this out of 10, if you're new to the channel and don't know how my grading scale here works, anything that I think I would recommend is going to get like 7.5 out of 10 or higher. If it gets to 8, that's a little bit better. If it reaches towards 9 out of 10, that's like next level stuff that I think will go down as an all-time classic. I don't know as this one can quite get 9 out of 10 quite yet. I mean, it's only been a week that I've been spending with this, but I have listened to it quite a bit over the course of the last week. I'm easily giving this 8 out of 10. It's a solid album. I strongly recommend you go check it out if anything I just said sounds like it would interest you. So, if you've checked it out, give me your thoughts on the album down below. If you haven't checked it out, change that. Go give it a listen. And until next time, Hammer Heart Metal Reviews out.